Hello, I'm Dave Austin from Learning Lounge. Our 18th edition online course has now helped designers, qualified supervisors and over 1,000 Sparks gain familiarity with the layout, content and application of the 18th edition regulations. More importantly, they're passing the BS 7671 2018 Requirements for Electrical Installations exam, which is usually required by registration scheme providers and organisations when assessing competence. But we've noticed that despite a lot of publicity about the 18th edition, which came into force on the 1st of January 2019, there is still considerable confusion about what's actually required for you to stay compliant. Now, this short video explains the situation and your routes to the 18th. Now, if you work under a QS, you may not need this qualification. But if you want to progress your career, work for yourself or change employer, having the qualification may very well be a necessity. Now first, a quick word about the Electrotechnical Certification Scheme, known as ECS cards, and their requirements for the 18th edition. The ECS has announced some important changes to the scheme that are now in effect across England, Wales and Northern Ireland. These new rules will apply to existing cardholders and those wishing to apply to the scheme for the first time. Since January 2019, anyone applying for an installation or maintenance electrician gold card for the first time will be required to sign up for registered electrician status. This means the applicant must be qualified to the current edition of BS 7671, the 18th edition of the wiring regulations, when the application is made. They'll also sign up to a code of professional practice, in addition to holding the minimum qualifications required for the card. And from the 1st of July 2019, any existing installation or maintenance electrician gold card holders who've let their card lapse for more than a year will be required to renew as a registered electrician. If you're already a registered electrician, you'll need your 18th edition by the 1st of July. Essentially, the only scheme where you'll not require an 18th edition qualification is if you're an installation electrician with a gold card not currently with registered electrician status and your card expiry date is less than 12 months ago. So probably most of you will require the 18th edition before you renew your card or are going to apply for registered electrician status. First, a few words about the exam itself. The recognised qualification for the 18th edition is offered by 3 awarding organisations: City and Guilds, EAL and Logic certification. Now, many organisations offer training that leads to the City and Guilds 238218 qualification, but don't be surprised if the exam you sit is from EAL. Logic certification is also an option, as some centres may offer this. The important point is that they're all exactly the same qualification and carry the same authority in displaying your competence. Now with the 18th edition, the requirement is that you sit a 2-hour exam covering knowledge of the whole book. There are 60 questions taken from across the 7 parts and the appendices. On one occasion, from the 16th to the 17th edition, an update exam was offered, which only focused on the changes. However, an update exam is not an option for the 18th edition. Everyone must sit a full examination. Now at Learning Lounge, most of the emails I receive about the 18th ask, what's my best route? A typical example is one I had from a guy called Paul. He said, I passed my 17th edition in April 2008. What are my options for the 18th edition? Also, one of our electricians passed around 2013, if you can advise on options also. Okay, so Paul has clearly not faced an exam for 10 years, and since the 17th was introduced in 2008, there have been 3 amendments. So while Paul's day-to-day knowledge and ability may be excellent, he could be slipping behind on knowledge of the current regs. In his case, he would be wise to study a full course and reconnect with the regs before he takes an exam. Now the other person who sat the exam in 2013 should be pretty current, as they would have been tested on the 17th edition, Amendment 2. So yes, that's an amendment behind, but they may only need to study the changes that have taken place in the 18th edition. Now that type of study is referred to by training organisations as an update course. They'll face the same exam at the end, but the studying is quicker and assumes a good knowledge of the 17th edition regs. For both of them, there is no hard and fast rule about which course is right. In choosing for yourself, a guide would be to consider how comfortable you'd feel about resitting the 17th edition exam right now with no study. If that prospect doesn't disturb you greatly, you're most likely to be fine with an update course to familiarise yourself only with the changes in the 18th. I mean, actually there aren't very many. They're summed up in 3 pages at the beginning of the regs. However, if you wouldn't feel ready for a 17th edition based exam without some refresher training, then you'd most likely be best advised to take a full course and study the whole book again. Now, if that's left you still unsure which route is right for you, why not take our pre-course assessment? It gives you impartial advice, which is your best course for study. It will even recommend that you attend a training centre for face-to-face training if that's what your result reveals. If online training is given as an option, the assessment will recommend either a full course or an update course. Now, we would obviously prefer you to sign up for our course, but it's not compulsory. You can even browse our site, see example material, and try that pre-course assessment tool, all absolutely free. At Learning Lounge, we offer full and update courses online. Both include our bespoke exam simulator, which can be done in 2 modes. Study mode provides more support for learning with feedback. A final assessment exam mode lets you know when you've reached a level ready to take the formal exam. And happily, you can have as many goes as you like. Whatever you decide, I wish you good fortune in the 18th edition exam, and I hope this video has been useful. See you soon.